What is up guys, Newlimits here, and today I have another leveling guide for you guys. I got a lot of feedback from my last leveling guide videos and I took all of that feedback and I used that for this video. There were some really helpful things in there, so I want to encourage you, if you have anything more to say, doesn't even matter, just put it in the comments. I read every single one of them and I answer to everyone too. Once again, it is not using the shadow clones because it's not season 22 yet. But as you can imagine, this would be even faster, so you would probably be looking at 35 minutes, but I can't say the exact thing of course, because we haven't tested it yet. I'm gonna run you through the walkthrough, tell you everything I know. Please leave a like on the video, because these videos take quite a lot of time to create, and subscribe to the channel for more content. Now, very important to also note is that I only use the materials and the gold that I would get from a challenge rift bag. I did not use anything else. Let's go! Alright, so we are going to create a new character, the Necromancer, of course. Normally you would click on Seasonal. You then want to equip your wings and your pet for the gold pickup. Gonna put it on Torment 1, but I would suggest in Season 22 to go to Torment 2 or 3, because you can find some shrines. Then when you save and close, you want to do the Challenge Rift, of course. And once you've done the Challenge Rift, you go back to your character, you open the Challenge Rift back, you get some materials. You then hire the Templar. You take the dagger from the enchantress, you check what has the most damage. Most of the time the Templar's weapon, but it happens that the dagger has more damage. You're gonna roll your blood shards for gloves, but don't spend all of your shards, just go till you have the gloves. Because you want to spend the rest on level 23. Because you can get some pants, some really nice pants with damage reduction. I'll show you the pants in a picture here because I forgot the name. What you then want to do is just get rid of all the rest, buy from the merchant of course, and then you're gonna craft a bow, axe, sorry, then a dagger for level 10. So the axe is level 5, the dagger is level 10, the phylactery is level 5. Then you're gonna craft two-handed axes. You start at level 16, and you level them all the way up to 41. So you're gonna craft every single one of them. This is just so you don't always have to keep doing it, and you can just craft them right away. There we go. Then you want to go to a two-handed mace. Gonna level it. You're gonna craft it, sorry. Then you want to make sure that you have the percent chance, so you have less you have more chance to get level requirement. Of course, you train the blacksmith and the mystic first. Then you just start rolling. I would suggest you only roll 5 times, then you go and craft a new one. So that is what I'm doing here too. I don't have the level requirement, so I go back. I craft another one, and here I just get insanely lucky. I just get instantly level requirement reduced 28, so I can't even believe it myself. I'm super hyped. So there you go. Normally you wouldn't be that lucky of course, but 5 rolls and that's it. What you then want to do is go to your axes and transmog them. When you go salvage your items, then you can't salvage them as well if you go salvage all. So it's just a little bit of an extra safety if you might mess up at some point. So you want to make sure you do that. If you then click salvage all, then they won't be salvaged. That's the reason. Always check the weapons on the merchants as well, because as you can see, we actually had a damage increase. And then you want to go immediately into the runes of Sescheron. So first, I always said go to Magda, but a lot of people in the comments said that it's actually not worth it. So I tested it out, and yes, it's actually not worth it. So you just want to go instantly to the runes of Sescheron. And you would just want to go in and try to get the massacre bonus going. So you're gonna level incredibly fast. Like I said, normally you would probably do this on Torment 2 or even Torment 3. At least I would do that because you can have some shrines here, and that would be incredibly helpful for you. If you are lucky with the spawns, of course. Now these traps, you can always use them to kill enemies for you. So as you can see, the traps are actually killing enemies. So that's also really useful. the best case scenario, when you leave this zone, you are at least level 10. But that is of course not always possible. If for some reason you find the route instantly where you need to go, then you can't be level 10 of course. Sometimes you'll be level 8, level 9. But ideally you want to be level 10. So you want to focus on your massacre bonus as much as possible. And also the reason why I don't go for the first two-hander axe and I decide to go for the dagger and for the axe and the phylactery is because I feel like I lose my massacre bonus a lot of times just because of the axe, the attack speed of it. It's incredibly slow, and I feel when I'm using the axe and the dagger, I have a much easier time actually keeping my massacre bonus up. So here, when you enter the Elder Sanctum, you really want to go back to town. You want to buy rings and go back to the merchants and buy items again, because now you can have a belt, a helm and boots as well, and you couldn't buy them before that. So you definitely want to go back and do that. Now why I said you want to be level 10 is because then you can also buy a amulet. So that is actually a little bit better, but you know, I found it right away. I'm only level 7, most of the times you're gonna be level 10, sometimes even level 12 or something. So I got lucky, maybe a little unlucky, depends on how you look at it of course. Now at this point you are actually mainly focusing on your damage. You just want to have as much damage as you possibly can. Later on in the video you'll see that you actually don't always want damage. Sometimes you just want to focus on the toughness too, but you're gonna notice we're actually having quite a decent amount of damage now, so we can easily clear this. And even on Torment 2, if you don't really find any shrines right away, you actually can do Torment 2 as well. You should have the damage for it, and you shouldn't be dying. Normally, of course. But sometimes you can get stuck, you can die, I mean, it happens. You just want to really focus on the massacre bonus here. You can have some really nice ones with the Rat King. The ones that spawn the little guys. The big green guy here in the middle. You really want to focus them. Okay, what I'm doing now is I'm dragging the Rat King towards the cursed chest, because he can drop corpses and I can use those corpses to kill enemies from the cursed chest. So that's gonna help me a little bit with clearing them out just a little bit faster. Of course, I'm just gonna make the most use out of my corpse explosion. What I suggest you also do, if you have your command skeletons, you can command them to go and kill the Rat King. So the green guys that spawn the little ones that you can really explode very nicely. Because when they reach a certain health threshold, they start spawning the little guys. So if you put your command skeletons on them, they spawn them just a little bit faster, and you can start exploding them. So that's really nice. Now normally I would not suggest to open the chests, even if you were able to clear the cursed chest. You don't always get it, but if you were able to clear it, you really want to keep your massacre bonus up as high as you can. But here I chose the wrong way, there were no enemies anymore, so I had to stop the massacre bonus, unfortunately. But normally, of course, you would try to keep that one up, and it is way more important than just getting the items from the chests. Now don't forget, if you have time in between, to take your passive skill and change your skills around. For corpse explosion, I would always stay with Bloody Mess, because it has the most area damage and just deals the most damage in my opinion. And the spear is also really nice, because the more enemies you hit, the more damage you deal. And you really want to make sure that you align everything as much as you can, so you can make the most use out of it. So here I actually make a little bit of a mistake. I really should not be trying to kill these guys. It's really not gonna be helpful for me. It takes way too long, so I kind of lose some seconds here that I really shouldn't do. Elites are very interesting, and you can actually use them to kite them along and make sure you keep your massacre bonus up. So that is a way you can use elites, or you can kill them when you have a Rat King, because, you know, Rat Kings are just absolutely broken with corpse explosion. And if you have enough AoE damage, of course, then you can use them. So here you can see that I use my command skeletons on the Red King. They spawn the little guys a little bit faster, so I can kill them. That's what I'm doing. I'm unable to keep my massacre bonus up, so that's actually my bad. I shouldn't have dropped it. But of course it happens, you're not gonna be able to keep it up all the time. But in this zone you could, actually. But yeah, it is normal to mess up. So here I die, and the reason why I start dying is because I gained a whole lot of levels. So the last time I bought from the merchants I was level 7, now I'm level 17 already, so it went just a little too fast. And therefore my gear is actually out-leveling me. Or I out-leveled my gear, so I need to make sure to buy new gear. So what I'm doing here is just checking my skills. Wow, I couldn't say that one. Checking my skills. Okay, we're gonna craft a two-handed sight because we have the cube now. You want to go to recipe 3. There you go, you want to upgrade the rare item. Then we get that. Of course, now it would disappear normally, but I already have it in the cube. But then you would use recipe 1 to extract that legendary power from your weapon. Now you have some really amazing options. Of course, you want to go to Torment 6 now. I think the only bad one that you can get is Shadow Hook. If you get that one, I feel like you get the least out of that one. So it's kind of a rip. All the other ones are amazing. The one that I got isn't even the best one. So at level 16, you want to make sure to use your gloves, because then you can use them at level 16. And what you could have done, I don't think I actually do it, but you have more blood shards left. You can then spend your blood shards on pants, for example. I would wait till level 23 because you can get, I'm not sure how they are called, something with golem. And your flesh golem, actually, your blood golem has 30% cooldown reduction or 20%, I'm not sure. I'm gonna pop them up the screen because I forgot, so I give you the right details. What you then want to do is go on Torment 6. You're basically never gonna drop Torment 6 yet. You need to be very careful though. And you gotta make sure, this is also really important, you have to be at least level 16 before you go here on Torment 6. When you can use your gloves. If for some reason you did the Runes of Secheron and you are not level 16 yet, then you have a problem, because you don't have the gloves yet and Torment 6 is gonna be too difficult for you. Or maybe the weapon that you got might carry you just upon level 16, of course, then it's fine too. But Corpse Explosion is absolutely amazing. You should always use your blood shards on the gloves, they're just really strong.
Some call the process ascension, a lie that no doubt lies in obedience. But mark my words, these abominations have not ascended. They live over the summer. They need their final day.
I must wait longer. I need to go back.
I actually got pretty unlucky with a lot of the cursed chests. I probably could have done this even faster. But I didn't get a lot of cursed chests in this run, actually. Also, this curse is really strong for the health regeneration. But there were just too many. But what you want to do, you want to line them up as much as you can and then just blow them up. That's just what you want to do. But yeah, if you get the Nova weapon, the Blood Tide, I believe it is called, that's even better than this one. But this one is also really good. And if you get the Poison, the Nayers, I believe it's called, then that's actually a really good one too. You're just gonna have to use Poison skills instead of the skills that we are using. But Corpse Explosion also has a poison skill to it, and it's actually a really nice one. And it pairs really well with Nova in itself, because it's all very close ranged. So that is probably very useful too. So we don't have like the best option. So what I do here, because I died twice, I just go back. That basically means my gear is no longer viable and I'm too weak. So I just change my skills around. Flesh Golem is really useful because it can drop corpses for you that you can then explode. The problem with the Golem that I have seen very often, when I click it, it doesn't actually spawn the corpses. I don't know why, maybe I'm doing something wrong, but they just don't really spawn for me. But it is useful. I really think it is when the Golem is in a different room. Yeah, so there you can see what it does, but if it's in another room and you want to spawn your corpses, it doesn't do it. So you have to make sure it's in the same room as you are, it has some clear space, some open space, and then it always works. Otherwise, it's not always working for me. Very unfortunate. So again, you go to the merchant, you buy. That is really important. You need to be able to keep your gear up as high as you can with the level that you are. If you're gonna be out leveling your gear, you're gonna fall off, you're gonna die, and you can't do it anymore. So you can't clear Torment 6. So what I do here is I go for Standalone and Rigor Mortis. Rigor Mortis actually makes the attack speed of the enemy go lower and the damage go lower, if I believe. Our spear deals poison damage, that's why it's actually very useful. There you go, so I just use the curses here. They give me some health regeneration, so if I would get hit, I wouldn't get instantly killed. There we go. You don't want to focus too much on your on your curses. I actually focus a little bit too much on them. Sometimes you're gonna see I lose my massacre bonus because I spend too much time clicking the curses. When you have a two-handed axe, your attack speed is incredibly slow. But like incredibly slow. So you don't have a lot of time to actually use a curse and then blow them up, because most of the times your massacre bonus already disappeared. So you want to make sure of that. That's why once you got Frailty Aura, so the aura of Frailty, you want to use that one, because then you don't have to actually use it to have the benefits of it. And yeah, those guys are really annoying. Like the big ghost guys, I'm not sure what the name is, but they are like incredibly annoying. And don't get discouraged when you get into this situation. So I have died a few times already, and that is actually pretty normal. You're gonna notice once you are almost getting at like the level 40 mark, so we're getting kind of close. Level 30, 40 I believe is the most difficult part, and then you have level 65 and above. That's also really difficult. In between it's very easy, you don't really have any problems. But now, as you can see, my damage is actually falling off pretty hard, and your damage will pick up again once you have your level 70 weapon that you used your level requirement with. So we were lucky, we got a 28 one. So once we get to level 42, we're gonna be able to use them. But as you can see, as long as you don't have them, level 30 to level 40 is just really difficult. So if you have to drop, then you can of course do that if you just can't clear it, because you're gonna die a lot too. You really can't make any mistake. Like you see, I just die again. Any little mistake and you're gonna die. It's as simple as that. So you want to make sure to keep everything behind you as much as you can. Line them up, throw your spears, try to get some corpses and explode them. That's basically the playstyle that I'm using here. So here I'm gonna go for Blood Rush. Once you get Blood Rush, it's actually really nice. You get some mobility in there. But yeah, this is just some really slow pace now. You're gonna see once we get the level requirement, the level 70 weapon, we're just gonna be blasting again.
My insight grows.
also, once you get your bone armor, the dislocation, where you stun the enemies, that's also gonna be very vital. Because that way you're not gonna take as much damage because you have some, you know, you can stun them, of course. You know what I mean.
My power has grown.
So you only get it at 39, so that's pretty late, the aura. But I decided here that, you know, I'm not really using the other curse all that often anyways because of my attack speed, so I just changed it. Because I was noticing my damage was lacking, therefore I wanted to go for frailty, because it just provides that little bit more extra damage because of the execution. Because I was noticing that, you know, I couldn't really kill them very fast anymore. So now I'm actually just misclicking. I'm going back and I can get the new weapon in. So you want to make sure that you check every single time when you bought your two-handed axes, when you reach that level, that you swap them out. Very important. And like I said, you can use your shards on the pants. I didn't do it at level 23, but you can do it.
I'm dangerous with most of these, you know.
I thought I was already pretty lucky with the level requirement weapon, that I didn't really want to use the rest of my shards, just to show that it is, you know, what it would normally be like. But you can definitely do that, and that will probably help you out. If you get the pants, you'll get 30% reduced damage when you have your golem up. So that would be incredibly useful, and you would probably lose the... probably the aura of frailty, because bone armor also gives damage mitigation. And you're starting to get at a point where you might not... Oh, here, by the way, this is very important. I go with Dark Reaping, the passive. Please don't use that. Do not. Okay, it doesn't work. You need to have a scythe. I didn't know that. I'll see it in a little bit. It's really stupid of me. But don't go that passive, because it's completely useless. So you can go for Overwhelming Essence, for example, or you can choose to go for some other passives. But don't go for that one, because it does absolutely nothing, and I'm just playing with two passives now. That was really stupid of me. So I'm gonna notice that in a little bit. But yeah, it's actually kind of crazy that we did a 44-minute run. So what you want to do, of course, in Season 22, you're gonna have the Shadow Clones. And I'm actually lagging there. You're gonna have the Shadow Clones, which is gonna help you even more. Because they're gonna kill enemies for you, you just want to stay alive. The clone is gonna be there killing stuff with you. So I do think you can reach 35 minutes. Leveling with the Shadow Clones. If you get somewhat lucky, I do believe that is possible. Now, like I already said, we got very unlucky with our cursed chest spawns. Normally you get cursed chests actually quite often, but we, yeah, for some reason we're not really getting them. Okay, so now we're just really trying to reach as fast as we can level 42, because we want to make use of our level 70 weapon. And here, every time I want to click the door, and it just would not open because the attack speed is just so slow from an axe. I absolutely hate it. But it's the strongest possibility that you have to have the most amount of damage, so you kind of have to go two-handed axes. But it's absolutely annoying as hell, the attack speed of it. I hate it to bits. That's why I go for the dagger and the axe and the alacrity early on, because you can keep your massacre bonus up. The thing is, when you're on Torment 6 and you're doing these runs, your massacre bonus becomes a little less important. because you're already getting a lot of experience and you just want to, you know, kill them and not die. Getting that massacre bonus, of course, is really nice, and it should be a focus. But yeah, it's not always possible when you're playing Tournament 6. Also, if we would get the Shadow Clone right now, that would be absolutely amazing, but of course we don't have that one. But it would help us skill at this point. Here again, I'm clicking the door. Takes a while before I can actually click it. Might be because I suck, I don't know. There you go. We're level 39, so almost 42. And we died, that kind of sucks. I just go to town now, because I gained quite some levels. You just want to reset. Go to the merchants, buy your stuff again. So I believe that was 24 minutes, we're level 40, so that's pretty nice.
Need to kill something?
Going for the aura. And I believe this is basically the skills that you use for the entire run. You don't really change it anymore. Now you kind of start getting at a point where you might sometimes want to focus toughness a little bit more than damage. If you can upgrade everything, then you go for that, of course. But if you would gain 2 damage but lose 10% toughness, I wouldn't do it. Because you already have your multipliers, you definitely will have the damage. It's just a matter of can you actually survive. So again, just try to line everything up. Alright.
This world can abide you no longer.
For your third passive, you could either choose for Final Service, your Sheet Death, or there's also another passive. And basically that means that the amount of curses that you have upon enemies, you get 1% extra damage. So that could also be a possibility for leveling. There you go, and now just blow them all up. We're almost there. It's super close. It's actually really stupid that I lost my massacre bonus there. That should not have happened. That was really dumb. Just blow them up. Make sure when you start exploding your corpses that you move in a little bit closer so you have as much aura of frailty around your enemies as possible. There you go, you're level 34, so we equipped the weapon. And now we're just gonna melt. As you can see, your damage just got insanely strong and you're just blowing everything up again. So this damage is only gonna start going away once you get to the 65, something like that. But from now on to 65, you're golden. There you go. And then you just back, you reset, and you just do it all again. Now I see it while using... So Spreading Malediction is the passive that I was talking about. You could use that one too. And what you can also do is there is a passive right next to it. Eternal Torment, I think it's called. If you would walk around with your aura, you would... curse them all. Your curses will last forever because that's what the passive does. And you could go for that 1% extra damage for each enemy that is cursed, which will actually incredibly make your damage way higher. So that might actually even be better than what I did. I went for the damage mitigation, the damage reduction. But it's definitely something you can go for even more damage. You might want to use that one once you get to like the 65 ones, but then again you can die very easily.
Give it more time.
Now I hope I'm not talking too much and it's really annoying, maybe you just want to see the gameplay, but I just want to make sure I said everything that I can, what was going through my mind when I was doing this, what I was paying attention to, so I just really hope it's helpful for you guys. You can actually use this information when you are leveling in Season 22, that you can actually make use of this. When Season 2 comes along, I will definitely be doing this strategy. Of course, the only change is that there will be shadow clones when I click the pylons, which is gonna give me some more damage, of course. So as you can see, your damage is way higher, so it's actually a lot easier as well to keep your massacre bonus up. Of course, now I drop him because there were no enemies, but we never had 220 at all. But now your damage is higher, you can easily get that. And of course, I just want to thank everybody that has been watching to my videos. It's actually kind of crazy how everything was going. I just started 2 weeks. I posted 1 video. I really didn't think much of it. I just thought maybe I can help just a few people out with leveling. And all of a sudden, it just kind of exploded. I got almost 9,000 views now, I believe, at the moment of recording this. My other videos are doing very well too, so I just want to thank all of you guys that have been watching my videos, the people that have subscribed. I've already gained a lot of subscribers too. So I just want to thank you guys all so much. I really hope this is valuable to you. And yeah, all the feedback that I got was incredibly important too to make this possible, because there were a few things that I didn't do that I implemented in this strategy. And because of the comments that I got on the videos, I was able to make this a little bit better. So again, if you kill the cursed chest and all the enemies around it, don't just go to the chests and grab your gear. Okay, you really want to make sure that the massacre bonus, you know, you can go as high as you possibly can. So that's what you really want to do. So don't go to the chests. You know, you're buying your items anyways from the merchants, so it really doesn't matter. It's more important to get the massacre bonus than the items from the chest.
Stay armed, stay alive. That's what I always say. Only the best for you, my lady.
Okay, now here I do something wrong. And I do that all the time. I actually buy gloves. So you want to make sure when you're going to the merchants, you don't want to buy gloves because you have your corpse explosion gloves. So you don't want to be doing that. I make that mistake a lot, I have noticed. So maybe you might make that mistake too. So you really want to make sure that you don't, even like when you have that damage increase, you're not really looking at it. And all of a sudden your damage is super low because you swapped out your gloves. I actually had that happen to me. Not in this video, of course, but I have had that problem. And I was like, where's my damage? And I actually changed my gloves, which was really stupid. But it happens, of course. So now we're getting a little bit more lucky. We're getting some cursed chest events. It's really nice to get that really nice massacre bonus in. And again, once the cursed chest is done, you killed all your enemies, you want to make sure that you keep your massacre bonus up and don't go for the cursed chests. So as you can see, the levels are going really, really fast now. We just want to keep on going. So you're seeing my damage is kind of falling off. It's still nice, but it's kind of falling off. Season 22 again, you would get the shadow clone. And I think here we lose the massacre bonus. Now I think it is actually better to not keep going and maybe reset here. Because you've already got the cursed chest. That's actually the most important one, because you gain a lot of levels from it. So it might actually be better to go back, enter a new game, maybe get the cursed chest again. That might actually be better than what I'm doing here.
My insight grows.
Level 61, we're almost there.
I need to go back.
And here I start noticing like, okay, I have to go back. So I leave the game. And I make another one.
Need to kill something?
As you can see there, 14 damage, 18% toughness loss. That's a really difficult call. Because you can choose to go for the more damage, but you're gonna be a little bit less tough. Or the other way around. There really is no good answer here. The damage is always nicer, of course, to make it a little bit easier. But on the other hand, if you're already dying a lot, of course, don't do that. Now a really important trick as well, you really need to know how to force stand still. So for me that's the shift key. I'm not sure what the normal one is, I believe I never changed it, it's the shift key. And what that's gonna do is when you want to auto attack, you actually are forced to stand still and you will use your auto attack. That makes it a whole lot easier to keep your massacre bonus up. Because sometimes you can misclick or make a mistake. And then you will lose your massacre bonus, so that would be very unfortunate. So force stand still should be a skill that you should always be using.
My insight grows. I must wait.
And now you're gonna start noticing you're gonna die a little bit more. Enemies are getting a little bit stronger. We're almost getting to level 70, so you have to know we're playing Torment 6. Once you get level 70 or towards level 70, you're actually going towards a level 70 Torment 6, which is kinda crazy that you're already clearing that. So that also means your seasonal journey is gonna actually be really easy with the Necromancer, because you're already doing quite a lot of damage. So the GR20 that you have to do, I believe it's a Torment 4 equivalent of level 70. That's just gonna be a walk in the park, basically. You're gonna have your 4-piece set already from the spear set. You have the gloves, you can use them, and you're just gonna absolutely melt everything, even in the seasonal journey, so... You're definitely golden when you are going for a Necromancer, Season 22.
I can't do that. I need essence.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna be able to do your seasonal journey just always on Torment 1, because sometimes you have to go to like normal or master maybe. I believe with the Necro you can just go ahead Torment 1 all the way.
My essence is too low.
So again, what I'm doing here is I'm lining them up.
Decay and rot.
Really important.
Not enough essence.
Again, make sure that you're really close to the enemies with your Aura of Frailty, so you can use that to make use of the Aura of Frailty, of course. Once you're going to explode, you see me teleporting or blood rushing towards the corpses so that I can make use of that Aura of Frailty.
I have long waited for this knowledge.
Keep your bone armor up, of course. It's also gonna give you damage reduction. Once again, can't say it enough, go to the merchant, buy your items. I go for the gloves again, really stupid. I make that mistake all the time. As you can see there, I had -4 damage but +8 I believe in damage reduction, and I actually went with the toughness. And I did the gloves again. Feeling stupid. And now you're gonna notice it's gonna be difficult. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this is really hard. Sometimes I think you might have to drop a little bit. I keep going on Torment 6. But it's not that crazy if you would go for Torment 5 or Torment 4 at this point. Because it is kind of difficult. Okay, so what I am doing here is I'm actually guiding them towards where the enemies spawn from the cursed chest. So I can have some corpses there, and I can make the cursed chest event just a little bit easier for myself. Also, don't forget to use your blood rush, because it gives you armor. Just that little bit more toughness. That's why I am using it all the time, when it's off cooldown. Get a really nice massacre bonus. Try to keep it up. Unfortunately, we can't. Definitely, once you're reaching the high levels, like 66, you want to try to get a massacre bonus insanely high. It's not always easy, of course, it's easier said than done. But the problem is, once you get to the 68, 69, it becomes really challenging, really difficult. So if you can stay at that level 66, and you might skip level 68, that would actually be very useful for you, because as you can see, our damage is like really falling off now. And I actually want to back here, because, you know, I had the cursed chest event. I'm noticing my damage is falling off, so I really want that cursed chest event again to get to level 70, because I'm noticing if I keep doing this, it's really not worth it. When something like this happens and you die, go stand in the middle of them, use your dislocation, they get stunned, and that makes that you can, if you have corpses around, of course, you can then detonate them. Might make it a little bit easier for you. Then you go back. There we go. And now you're gonna see me get to level 70.
Stay armed, stay alive. That's what I always say. Good day.
If you are lucky enough to get a ruby gem, you always want to use that or in your weapon or in your helm, because in your helm it gives more experience, and in your weapon it gives you damage. Such a really nice damage increase. Now it becomes incredibly important to line the enemies up, otherwise you will not have the damage. This is really weird. I feel like I'm hitting them, but nothing happened.
Not enough essence. I must wait longer.
Just trying to keep my massacre bonus up. And this was a really hard one, I have to admit. They are shooting balls at you. They were with a lot of enemies. This was a really difficult one. So I'm really trying, but that was a little too hard. So I blow up the corpses. I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, I don't have the damage for that. So I'm just really trying to kill them. And finally I managed it. Okay, now I see that I have a cursed chest event, so what I do is I'm actually trying to drag them towards one area. I hope to blast them, create corpses, and then I can actually start blowing them up. So that is what I'm doing. That's why I'm not really attacking, but I'm kind of walking around. And I actually die here, but that's fine. We have some corpses to work with. I dislocate, everything gets stunned, and then boom. Just go for corpse explosions, and then you're just golden. Make sure to use your blood rush for the armor. Use your bone armor so it doesn't disappear.
I am injured. I must wait longer.
Let's try to blow everything up. We're going, and boom. Level 70. I just let myself die. I go to town. Now let's go. Guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one.